that it? Did I cut it short? I don't know what the I'm thinking. Wait, is this the right one? Yeah, it's the right one. It was a little bit short, a little something that I started doing. I've been doing a lot of making changes. So this is the Chronoz show. I made a change from the gamers realm, and we'll go into that in a second. So my name is Chronoz, and I'm here with my co-host Ryan Drayson.
Hey, how's it going? Happy New Year, everyone.
And yeah, Happy New Year's, happy 22. That's what it were. In a few hours on my part. But it's just a lot has been going through my mind, and just last minute. So we might get a view or two or something like that. But at least we can get this down. This is what are we episode 88. So again, with I was thinking towards the late 2021, thinking of making changes, and I think that's a lot of us do. We make changes towards the end, whether we want to make a new branding and new changes. And I got, like yesterday, you guys probably noticed I was making the changes for the for Twitter and the YouTube and things like that. So other than that, yes, this is now going to be called. It's like a continuation of the Gamers Realm, moving forward with the Chrono Show featuring the Gamers Realm. There might be episodes where maybe it's just me. Like I got one on Sunday. It's going to be pre-recorded. I have someone. For those who might know who William Hung is, for those who watched the American Idol, is an American show that came out. I think in the early 2000s. I think 2004. Well, William Hung came on, and it shows how they made fun of him because he was a really bad singer or so forth. But he actually turned out to be pretty amazing and awesome through he gained several talents and things like that along the way, and he had some previously before. But anyways, that's something I'm gonna do with him on Sunday, and I'm gonna showcase the video possibly for next week on Friday. For that way, I don't think we're going to do so. I think we're going to do our first major of the year. It's going to be the second week of January. Where I'm going to try to get more of the guys together, talk more about what's going on with all of them through the into the new year. Well, in the meantime, Ryan, is there something you just want to start talking about? Anything that was going on? How was your 2021? What's going on now with you?
I think maybe let's start with. Just had a lot of different things do their, game of the year. That's not something that I really typically tend to do, and I didn't. I played more a lot of through my backlog, but I think we have to talk about. We at least have to throw a little bit of time at how great Metroid Dread was. I don't know, again, that I played a lot of new stuff, but in terms of stuff that came out that year, that was just an awesome experience from start to finish. And I think it definitely deserved all of the praise that it got. And hopefully might, if we finally ever get Metroid Prime 4, might be the start of a nice new renaissance for the series. I'd like to hope anyway.
Yeah, I think with Metroid Dread was, I would say, going through the whole story and reliving that. I thought it is one of the best games I played this year. Probably the best game I played in 2021. I think I'm going to vote that for myself as the best game of 2021 for me. I mean, what about you? Same thing or?
Yeah, I would definitely say the same.
It was great,
it was so much more than what I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting a good, fun 2D Metroid, but then the story stuff that they did in it, it's oh, that was just so good.
Yeah, that made it so crazy. Towards the end, I don't know if I don't want to spoil those for who hasn't. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter by now. We can spoil it. About she pretty much meets her father. All that stuff. It's just kind of all the twists. And I was like, what? I have to actually play that again. I have to play, the game again. So, and, do that when I get some time. But, waiting for Metroid Prime 4 will be one of the most anticipated things besides the Amigo. It's just something but going back to Metroid Prime 4, I want that so bad, beyond bad. And it's just, I would say, something that I'm learning just to be patient and we'll go more about the Amico. How I'm more patient. Just trying to be change the way I think about things and not get so like I would get upset so easily and just be like, about certain things. When is this coming out? Whatever. It was more like Metroid. I don't think I ever got upset with Intelligent Miko because I understand a lot of it behind what's going on and how we're just, as long as we're supporters and we'll be patient for it. So, but yeah, moving forward with that, Ryan, what else did you want to mention? That other games that were great for you,
Other
2021.
games through this year were a lot of clear. Well, not exactly clearing through my backlog. Like more, I promised myself at the start of the year I'm not going to start anything new until I finish the games that like I had bought some stuff. We all, oh, this is on sale, or I'm excited for that, and we all do that. But I'm like, I'm not going to start playing new things until I finish the stuff that I started putting time in and like just went away from because something exciting would come out. And Dread was the only thing that I broke that for, and I had said that up front to myself like that I have to play Dread. I don't want to like get spoiled on things, so I have to play that right away. But yeah, a lot of my 2021 experiences were not games that were necessarily well, they weren't games that are new this year, but I had a lot of fun finally getting through things like Starlink or going back to the old Dragon Quest games I'd picked up for like $5 a piece on the eShop.
Oh,
Trying to think what else did I play this year.
is it Starlink? Was that the one with Star Fox?
Yeah, that Ubisoft game where you switch out the toy ships.
Did you get the ships or no?
No, I got only the R-wing that came with the Switch version. I did end up actually paying for digitally. The game kind of like pushed buying the digital like the other Star Fox pilots, and I was against like I didn't really want to get more of the like toy things, and then I didn't want to digitally buy different weapons in the game because that seems kind of like you're just paying to win or like paying to play something you already paid for. But
It was pretty awesome because when it first came out, I had gotten it and I gotten
yeah,
several ships, and I got all these like the toy weapons. I bought the separate ones when it was the craze at the time, so I
yeah,
was able to switch the weapons and do all that crazy stuff, and it died on me pretty quick. I mean, I think a month, and then I gave it to
yeah,
somebody else. I just couldn't. I wanted it to be. Wish it could be more of a Star Fox standalone thing, but it was still great. I still thought it was cool.
yeah,
I just didn't want to finish it or didn't put the time for it. I love my favorite part of the game is when you're starting to kick some ass and that music just starts up the Star Fox theme
yeah,
song. I was like, oh shit, turn up the volume. So it
yeah.
was it was cool then at that time. So I thought it was great. So yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I feel like if they did something like that, where you didn't have to have the toys, or like kind of more like the amiibo, where you just like get an unlock for something. Like you get something in the game, but it's not like necessary to win. It's more just like a fan service kind of thing. And they did
Yeah.
like just an entire Star Fox game, but like with that engine. I would like to see that. I don't think they will, because that
I think they're
um,
saving something for later. I think there's like possibly ideas along the way, but
yeah,
I think it could be another thing future for the Switch or in a couple of years from now when Nintendo decides to come up with their next big thing, you
yeah,
know, system. I'm sure they're gonna come up with another system, but I hope they don't rush into it and I leave it alone. The Switch is doing great right
yeah,
now. Don't
yeah.
bother trying to make changes and maybe they'll come up with a good Star Fox.
Hopefully.
So but yeah, anything else that you want to talk about? Or if I'm gonna go into some topics in a minute.
Yeah, we can throw it to you now and come back to me.
Oh, let's
It'll,
see. I got a list. I was at work and I had written both sides of. This is actually the
yes.
at work. These are one of the when you put in the machine, and could we make the test kits for COVID?
Yeah.
And then you put the test kits in here, like seal it, send it out. So I just grabbed one of these, started writing in it. I got a bunch of test kits in the room. But anyways, let's see, what did I write down? Let's see. Just things I'm gonna talk. Actually, this is for the last part. Okay, talk about 2021 thing, Gamers Realm. Talk about new change. Okay, so I wrote down talk about Gamers Realm in 2021 was, I would say, I thought it was the year before was crazy for a lot. Like 2020 had a lot of things going on when we started doing a lot of voice actors, and it was just nuts. So I kind of split that more within the next year, 2021, and we, a lot of time was all, kept for myself to, I'm making changes to my personal life, and we still had some podcasts here and there but we had some really good ones, especially the last couple of them that we've had with Ian Petrea and John Morris from the voice of Andy from Toy Story, but Ian Petrea again from the Christmas Story. Amazing. Those last two I thought were some of my favorite right off the bat. I want to rewatch those episodes and just kind of, we had other ones that we had, throughout the year. If you can remember some, we had the voice of Impa from Breath of the Wild. That was, we had John Parrish, who's Jax from the original Jax from Mortal Kombat. So it's just kind of a lot of, it was an interesting 2021, and it was great. It was fine, and that's what the podcast is going to be. I don't want to go in full blown every single week. I got to have something, because I think sometimes we also want to do something on a Friday night or do other things, But once I get something good going on, like let's say I'm talking to the I forgot his name. He is from a popular movie, the Never Ending Story. For those who don't know it, or it's a very popular movie from back in the 80s, and I had his name's Atreyu. Atreyu was one of the popular actors from there as a kid. He's like 46 now, so I'm working with him, still talking to him about stuff, and so far it's just we might start off with a lot of gaming stuff in the beginning before we schedule major podcasts and things like that. So we'll definitely do something in 2 weeks from now, the second week of January. We'll just hit it off with. I'm trying to get more of the guys like One Up and Kotetsu and get us all together and just talk about, because I know One Up's got good things going on, and everyone else, and just go more about everyone's channels, or whoever wants to talk about their stuff. And moving then after that, depending on when we have some guests, we'll go back into again doing some just regular gaming chats, and I want to go back into that too. But at the same time, we are doing the Chronoz show. I wanted to become, have more of the change. I like the Chronoz show, the design, the new name change, featuring the Gamers Realm. Something kind of like, just something I want to do. And I thought it was a good change for, and we can always do separately the Gamers Realm if it's just going to be just a Gamers Realm. Maybe we'll go back to game night, something like that. That's something maybe later into the year. It's not something I may consider right now, but something for later. Let's see. I did talk about William Hung. Let's see. Talk second week. Yep, I did talk about second week. Talk pandemic. What am I trying to ask? Why did I put that on there? The pandemic is looking like shit now, so it's like worse. It's right at this point, for what I'm seeing, it is the worst and it's been since it started. Of what I'm seeing now, what I'm hearing now, it's just worse. And that's why they're saying our job at Abbott's was supposed to end making the COVID kits like December. They moved us into March. Now they said till June. That was actually a month ago, till June. Things are getting far worse now that I see us going through the rest of the year, making more test kits. Yeah. So I see it, and that's fine. Big money. That's what I'm making for now. But at the same time, I want to try to go into another job location that's connected to Abbott's, which is AbbVie. I hear this position is opening, so that's another thing. So I want to make sure I keep that money flowing. But I mean, thank now we've got what I have now. Again, with the pandemic, we got to be safe out there. I'd rather not be out there right now with a bunch of people jumping for joy for Happy New Year's, and people will come home and bring COVID, because at our location at Abbott's, there's said to be about 500 people that came up with COVID, because they test us twice a week. And about I heard 500 to 600 from what I heard, tested positive, and people, and we're having a shortage of people. It's probably the vacation people, maybe the Christmas people or Thanksgiving people who went out. I mean, we can't put blame on people, but it's probably a lot of people who did a lot of traveling. and it's just
Yeah.
and then bringing it to the hubs or to work, and so that's why everyone wears a mask and things like that. So it's pretty scary out there, but we just gotta take it easy. I got two brothers with COVID right now, and my nephew's just to get out of it. So it's just kind of yeah, it's happening. It's happening everywhere. So
Yeah.
let's see. What was I talking about next? Oh, okay, I'll go into that. I want to spoil that right now. Let's see. Something I'm doing this year. In 2021, I've lost 55 pounds, and then I
Wow.
actually gained. I
Congratulations.
gained about like 55 since then. I just started going to gym. But November, December, I had to slow down a little bit. I was doing a lot of. I was doing a lot of a diet. I went to what's that thing? I forget the name. I was doing a vegetarian, and I went to a little vegan stuff. Now I'm kind of trying to balance it out right now, but I'm gonna go back. That's why I enjoyed a spic soda today at work. I got a little wine right here. That's it for the night, and I already half of it's gone. But just kind of, I want to make sure that this ends today. Brand new day tomorrow, and going back. But going back to I've only gained maybe about what? Let me see, 6 pounds. Yeah, pretty much back.
That's not bad.
But that's it. It's not. I've maintained it just fine. But I think that just kind of I made some changes accidentally in my eyes. I don't know if you see I got some cuts right there, not cuts but like let me see.
Oh, on your eyebrows.
So I made a design for it because I was like trimming it with like a shaver that looks
Yeah.
like oh shit, and I went too far in, so I decided to push it more in, and I made another one to make like a kind of a cool design. I guess some people do that, so I decided to keep that going. It's just but yeah, going back, what I'm doing is that I joined in around the time I started losing weight. I joined martial arts for my son. I used to take it back when I was 18, 19, 17, 18, 19. I only made it to like green belt. I should have been a higher belt, but I was a goof off, wasn't taking it serious. I was there for my ex-wife at the time to be with her. When I went back into it to the same master, I went back, and now it's kind of a making the changes. I'm a yellow belt. I started from the beginning, so I'm training for the orange belt, and it's becoming more of a life thing, and I want to keep that going as long as I can through my years. I want to be making for my life and kind of thing. Who knows? I'm dead serious about this change, and being with martial arts, I started connecting with more people from the Mortal Kombat series, the original game. You guys remember we had Master Pacina? We had him.
Yep.
I don't know if you were there. You probably were. You weren't, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Master Pacina, he played Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero. He played multiple people. So we had him. But I saw him at the Midwest Gaming Convention. Another guy called Jay Jackhammer. Those guys and other Mortal Kombat fanatic or like from the game, they made a movie on the side. A movie that's going to appear on YouTube. Did you ever hear? Did you hear about that or?
I think you mentioned it before. Yeah.
Yeah, so they have the movie that's coming out in April. So when I saw them at the gaming convention, I did a lot of photos for them. And I did some videos, and I'm actually going to, since they all live pretty much in the Chicago area nearby, I'm going to be meeting up with Jay Jackhammer. I'm going to and Master Pacina separately, and I talked to them about doing documentaries on their lives, but also we're going to do some filming, them doing some cool stuff or whatever, and then after and then also do a little training with them. But I want to do hands-on with them so they can. Jay Jackhammer does a lot of different things. He does drunken boxing. He thinks like I want to do him to show me some things about that and me actually doing with him. So I want to do multiple things and things like that. So it's ideas popping in with them. They're interested. But with Master Pacina right now, I also want to do. He says that he's going to get the whole Mortal Kombat crew who are a part of the movie to do a bunch of them all together with the show. Get them all together before the movie comes out in April to do like advertise, help them out, kind of bring back. So it's a lot of things with them. But also with my health and changing it because I have to be serious with this, and I want to be doing like I said, I showed you the earlier. Like when I take my martial arts, I got my bow. This is what we're practicing right now, but I'm going to be advancing to other weapons later into the new year. So it's just exciting with what I'm doing, making those changes with health and martial arts and getting connected with these guys and working on feature videos and documentaries with them, and so I'm excited. But the Midwest Gaming Convention will be back in April in my area, so I'll be definitely there because I want to go meet. I met Shao Tsung from Mortal Kombat, the movie Annihilation. I took pictures. I showed it to people. But the next actor that's going there is Ernie Hudson from the Ghostbusters, and
Oh yeah,
I want to meet him. I want pictures and
yeah,
all that. So that's one that's like flipped me out of my mind. I'm telling you right now. But to meet
yeah,
Ernie Hudson will be pretty dope. Let me do a retweet really fast as we're here. Go down, and yeah, but I know I probably wouldn't go if it wasn't that big, But I did love the convention though. It was so cool. It's supposed to be bigger. They said in April, and if it's bigger in April, then yes, I wanna. I mean, with all the booths and things like that, and it was a lot already. And I met a lot of awesome people at the Midwest Gaming Convention, 2021, and it was amazing to meet. People like Do You Nerd. Who else did I meet? John Wiggs. Riggs. I say Wiggs. John Wiggs. John Riggs. I met him and a bunch of other awesome people. J Love 81. So it was just an amazing time to be there. A bunch of gaming nerds, and man, it was just cool. It's just right down your alley. All you got to go right through Wisconsin, Ryan, and just boom, right there, Milwaukee. We'll have to
yeah.
set you
Well,
up.
first we got to get the border. The border is well, at least on our end is. We can't go anywhere basically still.
Oh, right now, yeah, they were saying.
Yeah,
I talked to the people at the convention even yesterday, and today they responded about they're hoping everything will go well, so they can. They were even little like wondering if they're going to have it open for November, and it turned out fine. So if things slightly calm down a little bit, or they're just going to have to put a lot of rules and things like that to make it a successful event in April, because I do want to meet Ernie Hudson.
yeah,
So, but yeah, it's a lot of things going on. I want to have more people come down, and
yeah.
if
It'd be nice
anything
to be
happens.
able to do this thing
If
again.
you were able to go, I mean, well, how many? You're like 8 hours from
From
maybe.
NYC, so it depends how I'm going. Like it's hard from Southern Ontario. There's a few ways to go in. There's at least a couple ways to go into the U.S. just
You'd have
driving.
trains at
Uh,
all?
Trains.
So I'm wondering.
I mean, we have trains here, but do we have a rail that goes to the U.S.? I have no idea. I have to imagine that would cost way more than just to drive.
Right.
Um,
So like
but
the
like
drive.
we can at least get through either when the borders are open, Niagara Falls, like Buffalo area, or Detroit. Um, so it's hard for me to say like how long would it take to go to like the Chicago, Wisconsin area.
Wisconsin, it'd be
Um,
Wisconsin. Chicago would be too far because it's right in Milwaukee. So Milwaukee's way closer than Chicago.
yeah,
So I will brainstorm it because I wouldn't mind. I would love for you to come in April. I would even have to go. Maybe I'll meet you halfway up if you did something. We'll figure out something because I do like driving. I've driven to New York City, which was 15-hour drive. It's not 15 hour drive to get to. It's like an 8 hour drive to get to you or around where you're at, back and
yeah.
forth. But then maybe less, depending because like I said, it's. You ever been to a big gaming convention?
Not gaming specific, although there was gaming at it. I've been to Fan Expo, Toronto. I used to go like every year to that, and then just the ticket prices were way up, and what I was getting for it was like it just stopped being worth it. Mostly I went to see like comics people and stuff like that, but they had gaming stuff
Yeah.
there. Um, I have never been to like a gaming specific convention, but I would,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's worth
I
it.
would enjoy that.
It's definitely worth it. Wearing the
Yeah,
these let me see if I can get this down over here. If I can reach it down. Yeah, I wore this. It was a NES cartridge with a lot of things in there, but the NES cartridge was an actual game that works for your NES, a new game that was made for the NES. So a lot of cool things that came with it, and I mean, either way, it'll be awesome. I won't
yeah,
worry about that when the time comes and see, trying to get other people to show up And yeah, it was great. A lot of people did come up, and all the people are excited to come again. And it's supposed to be bigger, like I said in April. Let's
Yeah,
see, what else was I? We did talk about a little bit about our favorite games. We can go back into that shortly, but let's see.
sure.
Yeah, I think the show, the Chrono show, will be mostly about let's see, voice actors, and more like interviewing people kind of thing. When it's just strictly gamers realm ish, we're gonna be hitting more of the gaming stuff if we're playing games somehow, or if we're just talking just straight gaming topics, nothing else but just hitting the games. And if we do something big like that, we'll focus more like just gamers realm. But the show is gonna stay steady, mostly with the Chrono show. Um, it shows my bald head doing the thumbs up with the logo and things like that. So, but let's see. In October, I want to keep it like October. I want it to always be a paranormal activity month where I want to do paranormal activity researches like I did last time. It wasn't much. I mean, I thought it was really cool. I did it for my guy, but I want to do some more things on the side and talk more about that kind of thing. Maybe I met a lot of people along the way, even today, that have paranormal like experiences. So we'll go into that. That's something maybe for every October. Uh, Going into Amico, I could say that my ginormous excitement that I had earlier into the year was really, really big excitement for Amico. But I think at this point is calm down a little bit. I'm not like jumping for joy right now. I'm more like I'm relaxed. I'm just kind of
Yeah,
being cool because I know that they're going through some issues or or waiting things in parts and things like that. So I'm not trying to, because I think if I get overexcited, would I get mad? When is it coming out and whatever? Which I'm not. Just being cool, let them take their time. I think there's nothing official. I think it's somewhere maybe in March at the moment. I'm just letting it be, showing my love and support always. And I'm going to keep doing it with Television Amico, with Tommy and Phil. And I hope to get them back on and do another standalone with just Phil Adams. But in the meantime, just excited for something. Like, don't rush it. And they're not rushing it and they're taking their time. And it's fine. There's a lot of the hate that did calm down recently, but a lot of the hate that came along with it, fuck them. I don't care about those people. They want to cry about it, let them, but let people just be. I think it's a great thing what Tommy has been doing, and they, like the pandemic has slowed down a lot of shit, a lot of things for every company.
yeah,
Nintendo and Sony might get first dibs on certain chips and certain parts, then television might, and things like that. So it's in the works. Basically,
yeah.
what I'm saying is I'm being patient. And I hope that I'm gonna try to communicate with Tommy. I wonder if they're gonna come by Milwaukee or Chicago eventually. I will hope to, so I can get my hands on and try it out, because they're doing that. They're traveling the states,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are playing the Television Amico, and that's
Yeah,
what they're doing great.
I'd like to try it out. But as he said when he was on last, like, and as I kind of just said to do with the border, they can't get here. So, but if they could, if they figure it out, I would. I mean, like Toronto's not that far away. Toronto's, without giving away where I am specifically, Toronto is within a reasonable distance for me to just go and spend a day, depending how things are with COVID.
They should.
They will, I'm sure, when they can. Like, I think it's just a matter of like getting to be able to go there, like getting to be able to cross the border.
But I think in the meantime, go ahead.
Sorry, the only thing that I know that like regularly does anything that involves cross border right now is like the NHL, and even that, I'm like, how are you? That in and of itself, I'm like, I get like people want to watch hockey, and I I enjoy it here and there, but like I like hockey. I don't mind watching it on TV. But the idea of like going back and forth across the border, the teams even for that, like I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about that. If we can't normally, like, why is that? I don't know. That's a whole other thing. But
I would say with in television, I would hope, and if they came to the convention on the Midwest here in April with what's going on with Midwest Gaming Convention for 2022. It would be
Yeah.
big. You have Ernie Hudson. You got a lot of big things going on. If they came and presented to Amico, I think it would be a great success if they did it. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what their plans are. They probably got special things coming along the way, and right now it's just let's get into the new year and move forward with that. So
Yeah.
let's see. Anything else that want to talk about? And well, something I wanted to do, and let me see, where's it at? I've been thinking long and hard about it, and I love my podcast. I'm always going to keep the podcast, and it's something that I want to keep on going. But when we have certain days where like it's not an every week thing, so for 2022, I don't want it to be every week the podcast. The
Yeah.
Chronoz show. Again, there might be other days where I might want to try something else, but I'm thinking around. I was thinking March, but maybe June, because it all depends on internet access. I mean, I have internet here, but it's very poor. I can just do these things. But when I get the banging internet, I plan to get some amazing internet in March. So I would see more like a March thing. So this will be I'm gonna play a little hint of what I want to do and what I want to be back in March. But it's gonna happen. But I want to do this real quick. I gotta get that intro fixed up with that music in the beginning. But yeah, going into what I said, you know what? I left it and I didn't want to go back to it. And it just became more like a thought in my mind. And as long as I don't abuse it too much, like I was doing it a lot when I was doing playing games, I didn't want to go back to it. I had Luigi. Well, we had Luigi, and it was like twice a week or even 3 times a week. Then I just once a week. Then the podcast popped up. So as I do the podcast, not as much. I want to save some of those days, maybe once a month or twice a month, for Mr. Switch Nintendo Power Life. Mr. Switch, bring that back for those where I am Mr. Switch at that time, and I'm Chronoz here. So kind of a switchback. I said, screw it. Nobody else that kind of thing, where they're two people, and kind of thing. Or I was knowing the people still call me Mr. Switch, but also stick with the Chronoz. I love the Chronoz thing. I love Chronoz. Yeah. I also love going back to loving Mr. Switch Nintendo Power Life. So it looks like that's what I'm going to be doing, is going back to doing both, but making sure I don't do too much of it, or I give still time to my kids at home and things like that. So the podcast on the Chronoz show will have a lot of, I guess, again, with the voice actors and things going on with that when I get them. And then also some days that things are maybe not as big right now. Let's say March. March is, I have one podcast with a big actor or something like that, meaning a voice actor, and we do that. But then the next 2 weeks I got none going on. Boom, Mr. Switch. Let's do a Nintendo Power Live. Let's play some video games. Let's go back to it. At that
Yeah.
time in the market, I should have my internet connection a lot stronger and better. Go back to so Streamlabs, OBS, and go back to that fixture and go back to playing some games. But at the same time, making sure
That's
that
good.
whether I'm by myself or with somebody else, I still apply the love or affection to my partner, or if it's just me on my own, still make sure I have the time for me, for my children, to say, so that because I think sometimes some of us play. I hear stories that a lot of us are playing a lot of video games and we're streaming, but we're not paying attention or too much of it to what's I hear love lives break up or kids don't have that time because the streamer or the parent is doing too much of that. So
Mhm.
already hearing fireworks where you live, Frank.
Yeah. Hey, Frank.
Where you live,
I
Frank?
think I think we picked up some of it, but here as well. It's only 9:15 here right now,
Yeah, 8:15 over
and
here.
yeah, and so within the last 15 minutes there was fire. It's like we're not close to midnight. Like, you please just chill out for like a little bit longer. But whatever, people are excited, I guess. I don't know. I don't entirely get it because I'm like it's just we're just going to the next day like we always do. But I guess because the calendar is
Here's yet.
reading. But
How do you feel? I mean, for me, I spent the last 12 years mainly every New Year's. I'm sorry, but I don't. Happy New Year's to everyone, but
Happy
I
New
don't
Year's.
care much myself. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't care about meeting. I don't care about going out and partying. Even when Kobe was
Yeah.
around, I seen a lot of things in the past where people get, I call it shit face. People get all drunk and whatever, or when you're out there, you could be the one safely driving home and you get hit by someone or accidents happen. People are shooting their guns out. Like I got a neighbor down the street that does that a lot, so I'm expecting to hear something tonight. I'm usually spent most of that time, especially with my older kids when they were younger, we would just sleep the night. I just don't see myself celebrating. I'd rather be like, like I have a little wine right here, pour it in a cup. Here, I'm gonna do it right now. I got in my television cup, and it's just that's my toast to 2021. Goodbye, Happy New Year's to everyone, 2022, and that's it. Maybe later on, if when I have a significant other, I can enjoy that later. But again, not right now. It's more like I just chill and be safe. Be safe is what matters right now. And with COVID, especially not safe to be out anywhere, as it's getting worse in the states and pretty much in some countries are really bad. Texas is
Yeah.
really bad. My brother lives out there in Houston, but everywhere's bad. But the thing is, like, yeah, just be safe. All I'm saying is like I would say, you know, when is it? So it's New Year's for you in about what 3 hours?
Yeah. 2 hours and now about 40 minutes.
I'd rather be sleeping at this point. If Luigi gets sleepy, we're just gonna be sleeping. Me and Luigi, we're
Yeah.
just gonna. If anything, my parents, I'm sure they're gonna stay awake and they're gonna want me to come out.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm usually up like till 12:30 normally, so I probably will be up for it. Honestly, if I'm doing any celebration or any party, it's the Animal Crossing, my villagers and
oh
all.
yeah, oh
So,
yeah, I
yeah,
would do that. I got my
I think
Animal
that's kind of
Crossing with
fun.
Luigi.
But I don't need to. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. My parents.
I did it last year. It was cool. It was cool last year for
Yeah,
Animal
yeah, it
Crossing.
was fun. My parents said, "Oh, come to your sisters. We'll do board games." I'm like, "Yeah, but I just saw you all for Christmas. I'm gonna go see my parents tomorrow for dinner." I'm like, "No,
Yeah,
I'm good just to stay home. This is fine.
yeah.
I don't feel like I'm
I would
missing
say
out on something."
no. We're not missing out on anything. I do hope
Yeah,
that those people who go out, I hope that they're safe. I hope that they're wearing a mask, and I hope they have a
yes,
great time. Just please be safe. Frank, I'm sure you're out there right now screaming out. You're out there to crowds of people. You're jumping for joy. I know you're out there, man. You're hearing all that going on. Yeah, I'm sure Frank's not at home. He's out there partying with everyone. Yeah, I'm not gonna party. Frank's like, I'm not. So Well, yeah. Let's see. Any other news that you want to go into? Anything that popped up? Anything to finish off the? What are we? Been on 40 minutes. Yeah, we can get towards closing. I would say
Yeah.
2021 was a great year. It was great for good times and major changes in life, and continuing to 2022 has been in my mind and how to make it stronger and better. That's why going back to full blast, and I want to pay my full year in Taekwondo. I was paying monthly, but I'm going to pay the full year in advance on first second week of January. Just going to hit that really hard, just get into that with health, and because a lot of it helps me a lot with trying to better my mind and meditating and things like that when it comes to martial arts, taekwondo, and instead of watching that, what's that show everyone's talking about? That martial arts show with that kid from the Karate Kid.
Oh, the Cobra Kai show.
Yeah, Cobra Kai. I'm doing Cobra Kai live myself. I can do that every Thursday and Saturday when I go to class and go learn. So, but that's my karate stuff right there. And then again, going into special guests throughout the year with the Chronoz show. 2022, I want it to be better because I'm going to be 42 years old, and I want to get stronger and healthier and better and faster and improve my health along the way. But not to forget about what's going on in my personal life with life and friends and family and having a partner or with my kids. What about you, Ryan?
No, yeah, I feel similar. It's important to keep connection with people and invest in your kids. You talked about like COVID numbers; they're surging here too. And I mean, I didn't get to see my kids at Christmas because my daughter tested positive on a rapid test, and
She better now?
They seem to be doing okay. They're not contagious. They're still sick. So I still haven't seen them, but yeah, she seems to be doing better. My ex-wife got it too, and she has now some like ongoing breathing issues because of it. So it's a very scary thing. People should be mindful about it and be safe. Think before make wise choices. Think before you go and do stuff. Just because we used to be able to do stuff and we're vaccinated now doesn't mean you shouldn't have to be safe still. We need to take care of ourselves, and in taking care of ourselves, we're going to take care of each other, and hopefully 2022 is the start or further down the road of getting things back to normal. Yeah, I've found over this past year, one of the things that I appreciate and that I've enjoyed is connecting with people where I can, where it's safe. Like this online or the few people in person where it makes sense.
You joined us in 2021, right?
Or yeah, I think like officially joined the group. Yeah, and I had been on twice before that, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2020. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's important to like have a good balance of what you got going on in your life. No matter how good any one thing is, doing it all the time is not good for you. It'll burn you out. So
yeah, just like I can say quickly, I when I went to go see the movie Spider-Man, I went twice to go see it in theaters.
Okay.
In 4DX, we know the chairs move and rotate to the whole movie.
Oh.
The fans turn on when there's a lot of wind in the theater or in the movie. The fans go. They blow on you, or if somebody gets wet, you get sprayed in the face with water from the chair in front of you. It's got that like this little squirter thing. It's just like realistically watching the movie 3D. I did that twice, but I realized there were so many people at the theaters and they're packed and whatever. And I remember just like this, like two people next to me, like shit, man. I'm just trying to, and the lady next to me was on her phone. Like, come on, man. I wanted to bitch at her and be angry, but like, fuck, man, some people just are ignorant. They just don't care. And so, but either way, overall, it's probably that's a lot of reasons why things are happening, because I mean, people are trying to go back to the movies and do things. And so when I went and I risked it twice, then at the end, I felt like, you know what? The Matrix came out the week after. So I knew it was on HBO. I wanted to go to the theater So I said, you know what? I'm not gonna go to the theaters for a little while, so I'm gonna stop. Don't go to see the Matrix. I
Yeah.
saw the new one at home on HBO. I did love it for what it was, and kind of saying, you want any spoilers?
Yeah, I don't mind. I
Oh.
Matrix for me is similar to like Pirates of the Caribbean, where like I loved the first one, and then the more they kept doing them, I'm like, this is fine, but like it's not quite what I wish
The
they were
first,
more experimental with it, honestly, like they were with the first one.
I think
Like kind of
I feel two ways about it. They should have. Okay, the first three, after watching all three movies of the Matrix, I love the whole series. They're all
yeah.
great. I really love it a lot. But I think maybe after watching the new one, they could either just left it alone and just let it be. But I also liked it too, and they opened it up for more. Right now, the directors don't have any plans for more, which I think is a dumb move. You open it up for there's more, but at the same time, they better because you need to complete what you just did because there's more to expect. But
Okay.
I was mixed. But I still enjoyed it for again for what it was. A lot of new things, twists and turns, and you got your Morpheus is played by a younger actor, and Neo and
Hmm.
Trinity find out they're they were lost in the world, and then they were found. Um, Neo, it's like they don't have their powers anymore. But Neo started to. If anyone's watching, close your ears right now. I'm about to spoil the shit out of this right now. Neo finds out more how he is, um, you know, and finds himself again towards the end. But at the same time, here's the big spoiler: Trinity also finds out her true potential and her powers. So Trinity does fly at the end of Matrix 4. She
Oh, that's
now
cool.
has the ability to be, Neo had all these powers and blocking everything and whatever, but then she surprisingly came up as being part of. Is this now a twist and turn that Neo was the one? Is she now the one of this series? It was still good, with certain actors on there. Um, but I hope that the second one, or I mean, if they say they're going to go into the new part five, from what I saw, that there was no ideas to do it, and then I heard that there was, and that the original Morpheus from the first movies is gonna has signed in for five. So I'm kind of like, is that just talk and gossip, or is it really gonna happen? But anyways, let's go back to the fourth one. I just thought it was, and that Neo couldn't fly at the time that Trinity was flying, and but then at
Hmm.
the end of the movie they were both flying together. So it's kind of crazy. They did jump. They did a lot of, you know, you know, no. I was doing this. No, not. I mean, like a lot of like just a lot of this action kind of stuff, but none of this like they were like going back and forth and dodging bullets. People wanted to see dodging bullets kind of action kind of stuff. They wanted to see what they saw in the first few movies, but you didn't see that.
Hmm.
But I was fine. There were still cool fight scenes. There were still really cool things, but people expected too much from it. Come on, this is part four. I would say if you make five, make it awesome. Five and six. There's supposed to be a trilogy. So, but then I just read an article saying that there isn't. But I read so many articles, people are so mixed. So I don't really listen to. Gotta watch out who you're reading the articles from because sometimes it's just
Yeah.
straight up crap, and people are just lying their ass off just to get something out there. And that's why
Yeah,
I
they
got
just
more
want
of
hits and attention.
and I just got more of this that there weren't. I mean, more of that they were, and again with the original Morpheus and that. So we'll see. I have a feeling that they're going to be looking for Morpheus in because Morpheus is found in the game. I mean, the game. Well, it's weird because it's based off of their new lives that they're living. They're living in a game. They've made the games, so it's really weird. So Neo, when he found himself again, he was a game designer, and he
Hmm.
made the three games, The Matrix. So it's based on that was his new life he was living. He was the creator of the new Matrix games, whatever. And they actually have a new Matrix game coming out on PS5. I played the
Yeah.
demo, so it's all like collaborating together. So it's interesting and also can confuse you a lot, but it's just a lot to go with. I think you should see it. Eventually, just to check it
Yeah,
out.
it's
I
on
mean,
my
if you've seen the other three, if you've seen them, and if you got
yeah.
time, watch it. See it. So, but anyway, let's stop talking about the Matrix. Boo. So, were you trying to finish off something you want to say to finish off?
Um I forget what I was saying.
Just your
No,
let's
I
say
think
your
I said
year
what
end.
I was. I think I said what I was going to say.
Okay,
But
yeah.
yes,
So what? Okay, we're just about okay. Let's close up.
sure.
I want to do more reveal things for the next 2 weeks. So what is the wait right now? It is the 31st, of course, and let's go into so January 14th. January 14th is a Friday. Is when I want to do the first major episode of the Curl Show featuring Gamers Realm and bring it most of the guys back to talk about what's going on with their channels. What are they bringing along and get some topics along the way.
Yep.
So we'll start with that. I do have William Hung from the American Idol show. I'm going to be interviewing with him on Sunday morning privately, and then I'm going to have that episode come out the following week. It's interesting. I'll play some clips later on for those who don't know and explain more about him and how he became successful. I even bought his book. I bought his book a few days ago.
Cool.
So it talks about how he was teased a lot and he went through a lot of rejection even on the show and how it improved his life by just moving forward and people are going to say things. People are going to put you down and whatever. So we're going to have enlightenment. We're going to talk about some stuff that just brings up, how do you say, or what he went through. But we all go through similar things in life where we feel rejected. And his book talks about, and even he does a lot of. He's more of a speaker now. He speaks about his life and how he managed to make it through. He was really bad and made fun of him as singing "She Bangs" from Ricky Martin on the show, and again, people made fun of him. But then it's crazy because they brought him back on the show like a year later, or something like that, and to do the same song, big performance, and people were crazy and they're cheering him on. So from 2004 to 2011, he had a lot of fame. He even had 2 albums or something like that. He had a lot of. They even did like music videos with him. So he ended up doing amazing things along the way and finding other. Then there was things in between that I saw some videos where people, like Simon, Paul Abdul. Well, Paul Abdul was never. She was not bad with him. It was more like Simon. You know Simon, right, from the show American Idol.
Well, yeah.
He was more like rejecting him a lot. But I mean, he does what he does. But anyway, it's worth. We're gonna talk more about his experience with American Idol, and then even talk about his personal life or how things are going. Meaning, like, because he's doing really well for himself. I'm going to start reading his book as soon as it comes in the issue. I wonder it should have came today or tomorrow. But I'm interested in talking to him about his life from past and now. So that's something Sunday morning. I'm gonna, I think it's at 10 a.m. Central Time. It'll be 11 a.m. his time. So it's an odd time. That's what he wanted because he's going on vacation the day after. So to get that time to talk to him. But in the meantime, 2021 was a great year. We had a good time. I'm going to do one more little toast to. Should I just do? I'm just going to do it directly from this. It's not that strong actually. It's actually. I'm not trying to sell this item. When I get in trouble, it's just. I'll say it's. It's called Stella Peach. I'm not going to say the actual. I get in trouble for trying to sell a product, but yeah, it's very tasty. Kind of like a sweet wine, and so it's sweet like myself. Nah, I ain't gonna brag about myself now. Just kidding. But it's just like I think that's the liquor drink making me act crazy now. It's not. But yeah, it was a great year. I did enjoy the whole 2021 for what it was. My struggles and separations to joining losing weight, joining martial arts, and doing the podcast. Great episodes. Having you, Ryan, you're here. You're here the majority of the time, so I appreciate you for being here. Even tonight. Oh yeah, no. Oh, I wanted to make sure. At the time you gave me the card, I was feeling like shit. I was going through a lot. I was sick, man. But I want to appreciate your holiday card. No, so I was very appreciated right next to the my mini Christmas tree. Oh, nice. And I have it right there on it. But yeah, I appreciate you, Ryan, as a person for being on the show and to continue on. And I'm sure we'll have some big episodes throughout the year when you can. I know you got your kids and your life too. But yeah, I would say I do appreciate Kotetsu also for coming around and anyone who showed up when they can. I know the other guys are just very busy, and that's fine. But for those who showed up the most, I appreciate you guys the most. But again, I'm going to say this year, I would appreciate mostly. I appreciate you, Ryan, this year. The most. You
Thank
just
you.
been there.
I
You just
appreciate
been
you
there.
too. I'm sorry you
And
didn't have a great Christmas, that you weren't feeling well and all that. So
yeah.
yeah,
It was pretty bummed out. I did trying to be careful wearing my mask all the time. Luigi, he never got sick when I was
good.
sick. I actually spent most of Christmas in my room, and he would come in the room for a little bit, but I kind of hung him quick. But then I had to send him off because I was just laying in my chair like fuck, just kind of like sick. But now I'm still sneezing slightly, but it's pretty much leaving and gone now. So, but yeah, it's
Mm.
all good. Things are better. I hope that your kids and the ex-wife get
Yeah,
better,
yeah.
and that way everyone's catching this stuff is going on. So we got to be safe and make the new year a bigger and better year for everyone. So I would say 2022 biggest things I'm excited about. I'll say let's finish this off like saying I'm excited about Metro Prime 4 and some news or more about the game. Zelda Breath of the Wild
Breath of the
2,
Wild 2, whatever that ends up being called.
Platoon 3, and especially the Intellivision Miko. Those are my top things. Anything that you're crazy about for 2022?
Basically, this like the same with Zelda and Metroid. I'm eager to see what. Yeah, Frank, it's always great to see you in chat. You are here for a lot of the
All right. I want to
content
thank Frank. Frank,
moderation.
yes, you know what, Frank, you have been, and it does matter
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time you're on here. I want to thank you too.
Thank you, Frank.
You're finishing
Um,
up.
yeah, so I hope that they get to do an Intellivision event here, and I can actually like try it out. My two things are similar, like you said, Metroid Prime and whatever Breath of the Wild 2 ends up being called. I'm super hyped for that. Um, and actually, the Mario Rabbids sequel, I know a lot of people are like, oh, either they hate the Rabbids or like, oh, it's just more kiddie
Oh yeah.
garbage. But I don't know. The first one was super fun to play, and now they're not like locking you into a grid where you have to walk, you have to move in.
Wait, how's it happening now?
So it looks like you have like a circle of like an area of movement, and the circle kind of like shows you how far you can go. Um, but like it's not locked. You can kind of go wherever within that area. Um, it definitely looks like they're evolving the combat, and so the combat was already good. So I'm excited to see what they do.
I played the first one slightly for a little bit. It
Yeah,
is. I downloaded it. It is a great game. I actually liked it. I loved
yeah,
it when I was playing it, but I just didn't have time for it. So much everything else. That's why I just
yeah,
stopped buying games right now because I need to go back to finishing these other games. But yeah, you're
yeah,
finishing.
yeah. So I mean, it plays a lot like XCOM to the best of my understanding, where you're like tactically finding cover and then shooting, but it's Mario, so it's all like laser guns and whatever. Um, it it was a lot of good fun, and then the Donkey Kong DLC was even more fun because they added in like Donkey Kong moves where you could swing from vines to get around, and it gave you new options to do stuff, and also it made the game hard, like the new levels were all harder because they knew you had played it before, so they gave you like some good challenges to do. um, I'm really looking forward to whatever they do with this new one.
Cool.
It should be good. Yeah. Yeah. So those are my three. I mean, hopefully
Okay.
Prime's 2022, but I guess we'll see. But
Crime. You said crimes.
Prime, like Prime 4.
Prime. Oh,
Yeah.
Prime 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
I said crimes. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, Prime 4. Yeah. Oh man, it's just. I'm just like I said. This Prime 4 is like the one, and Television Amico for me, and it's just like I'm just trying to hold. Like I get these like goosebumps just thinking about them, and just gotta chill,
Yeah.
gotta relax, just gotta take it in. And when it comes out, when we get more info, in the meantime, enjoy what's happening right now and be
Yeah.
safe. But yeah, final statements. I'll leave you. Go ahead. Final statements to end the podcast.
So belated Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone watching, or I guess Frank is watching now, but anyone watching after the fact. Thanks to everyone that's watched through the year and has come and hung out with us, and especially those that have come and hung out on like been part of the podcast and all the cool people we got to talk to, and especially you for putting all this on and letting me be a part of it and all the cool things you do as well. Yeah, you're a good friend.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Ryan. I'm gonna finish off by saying thank you again, Ryan and Frank and everyone else along the years. It's been a great year. I mentioned already a lot of the good things that happened throughout. Make some changes. This is the Chronoz show now. Chronoz show featuring the Gamers Realm. There will be some Gamers Realm things going on, and if you guys missed it, I'll be trying to I'm gonna refix that intro piece there, kind of for the very few that a lot of people don't know, but I'm bringing back Mr. Switch into the part of life around March after. That's in the works because it depends on internet service. So won't be an every week thing. It'll be maybe every other week or every 2 weeks, something like that. But it will be coming back so we can game together and things like that. Go back into that later. But in the meantime, I want to thank everyone who was a part of this, all the guests and all the crew too. I understand the crew is very busy and things like that, and some of the crew are not around anymore because it's just, again, life is very personal, and you gotta take in life. And some of them will probably come back later on or when they can for future episodes. But in the meantime, special thanks to everyone else. Around second, right behind Ryan, is for Kotetsu. He was gone and came back and things like that. But everyone I'm sure is doing something tonight. So I know this is last minute. But again, happy belated Christmas for those. Happy New Year's to everyone. And I'm gonna try to go to sleep right now. But I don't think Luigi's gonna let me sleep. He'll. I swear to you, that boy will try to stay up all night if we let him. He's not even 3 yet, and that boy wants to be up. So, but like right now, I can hear him stop around. See? Yeah, he comes around and starts nagging on the door, but I got to make sure I attend to him right now. I was playing with him just now. I've got a bunch of bottle caps and a bunch of googly eyes, and we'll stick in the googly eyes on the bottle caps and just mess it around. But I'm sure we'll right now maybe inflate him some balloons and mess around a little bit before the I wouldn't mind. If I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't want to see none of you guys till next year. All right, what's not till a couple hours from now. I'll see you guys. But yeah, again, thanks again. It's been a wonderful year. Ups and downs, but there was greater times that outweighed the depression or the bad times, But other than that, thank you all for watching. Let me get the right. Oh, real quick. Scottish Gamer VR. Happy New Year, gents. All the best. Yes,
Happy New
and
Year.
you know what, Scottish Gamer VR. If we have you on Twitter, or there should be a Twitter description. Unless I have you, I'm always looking for more people to join the crew here on the podcast. Hit me up. We'll talk. Get some more people along the way, and it's just I'm also kind of like I said, I'm being careful, but also want to bring along new faces with the old faces, and do the Chronoz show, and with the Gamers Realm all together, and then going into some Mr. Switch stuff. But other than that, I'm gonna get out of here. Let's get with the outro if I can find it. It's a short one, or it's the outro is I kind of messed it up a little bit, but either way, I'm just gonna play it anyways. Hold on, do I have another video real quick? Hold on. Let's see if I can. I have these videos that I have saved. Let's see if I got one of my favorite ones on here. Maybe I'll play one of my favorite videos if I got it. Let's see. I hope I got it. Oh, yes. All right. I'm actually going to play something really awesome. This is my favorite outro I played many times, and I'm going to probably keep playing it. And I want to thank him again. I haven't been able to talk to him lately, but I'm getting something in my throat. But my favorite in terms of things I played, I want to play NES games for the Switch bit. I would say to finish this new year off. Ryan, I'll talk to you right after the song. But yeah, this is a dope song. Thank you again, Switchbit, and Ryan. Thank you again. I'll see you guys. Those who are watching. See you guys next time. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year. Good night.
a break from the Insta pics to tell you about the days I was 5 or 6, and I ain't ever even played a game before. When my bros brought home Moon Patrol, I was in trance, my eyes were starry. My bro let me know it's called Atari. A lifelong love affair started right there, and I played every game that my bros brought near. But it wasn't long before I got obsessed. We were walking in to see us on NES. A Sunday morning in my Sunday best, saw Mario running and I put him to the test. Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, Zelda and Link were so dear to me, and I was never alone. I was playing Punch Out, getting TKOs and touchdowns and Tecmo Bowl, making my way to the top like gum. My bubble bobble never pop when I'm having this fun. I don't even know what to do. I can hop in a plane, 1942, and try to survive in the land of Clue. Apollo and Zexus try to kill Jason, always perplexed us. Dr. Mario feeling infectious. Every new game somehow impressed us. I can kill Hitler, Bionic Commando. These Capcom games, man, there's nothing they can handle. Fighting nightmares with Nemo and Dreamland. Just like Kirby, I'll be living the dream, and these NES games done got my brain. I don't even know if y'all hearing me. About to go conspiracy. Paperboy, Popeye, Spy Hunter, one more try. Rushing attack on the field of track. Thinking about it, man, it takes me back. Captain Skyhawk felt like the best, and who can forget Festus Quest, Kung Fu Hogan's Alley, Balloon Fight, Doug Hunt, Metroid, Excite Bike. All these NES games, all these NES games, man.